Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, All Around Health Talk. So I promised you guys a video about how to calculate your ovulation period. So here I am delivering. Calculating the ovulation period can be very tricky and very complicated because when it comes to the human body, nothing is certain, right? Some people have regular menstrual cycles, some people have irregular menstrual cycles, and so there are differences with the ovulation period, and this is something that is never certain because there are always changes that happen with the human body from time to time. Now, this is a method of family planning which we call the natural family planning, which is a variation where you don't take birth control pills or any other kind of birth control method, but you try to figure out how your body works when your body ovulates and when your body does not ovulate, so that you can know when to have intercourse. So it works for those people who want to conceive and for those people who do not want to conceive. So if you do not want to conceive, you know when you're ovulating and you know not to have intercourse on those days in order not to get pregnant. But if you want to conceive, you know when your body is ovulating so that you can actually have intercourse on those days, thereby increasing your chances of getting pregnant. So it's very important for you to know when you're ovulating so that you can better track your ovulation cycle, depending on if you want to get pregnant or not. Now, it's very important for us to know first the menstrual cycle. Now, this method does not work if your menstrual cycle is not regular. If you're the type that doesn't have the regular menstrual cycle, please don't try this, really. It's for those people who have a regular menstrual cycle. So now we know that the menstrual cycles can vary from one individual to the other. There are people who have 22 days, there are people who have 25, some people have 28, some people have 30, some people even have up to 35 days in the menstrual cycle. Now, what is your menstrual cycle? Your menstrual cycle is the days in between each menstruation period, starting from the first day of your menstrual period to the day before the appearance of your second menstrual period. For example, if you're the type that sees your period on the 1st of every month, your menstrual cycle is the 1st of the present month till the 31st of that same month. So that is your menstrual cycle. You do not count the first day of your next period. That is that belongs to the next menstrual cycle. So if you, for example, if you have if you see your menstruation on the 1st of every month, then you have a 30-day menstrual cycle. Now, so what is ovulation? Ovulation is a process whereby your ovaries liberate an egg that is apt for fertilization, and the fallopian tube captures that egg in preparation for fertilization. Now, whether that egg is fertilized or not depends on if you have intercourse in that period. If it doesn't get fertilized, then it turns into your period by disintegrating, and then you have the blood, the bleeding and all that. But then if it gets fertilized because maybe you had intercourse a few days leading to that day or on that day, then it gets fertilized and it gets implanted in the uterus, and then we have a baby. But it doesn't always happen like that. Many people think that if your period passes, that a woman is fertile for all the days in between the first period and the following period. That's not actually true. There are days where the lady is most fertile, and this is called your fertile window, right? So how do you calculate this ovulation window? You calculate this ovulation window by counting backwards from the last day before your next period. You count 14 days backwards, and then the next day is your ovulation day. So, or easy, if you are the type that has a very regular menstrual cycle, say for instance 30 days, right? You subtract 14 days from 30, and then you have 16. So your ovulation date would be the 17th of every month, right? Now, that is your ovulation day. But when we talk about a fertile window, if a lady has intercourse on 2 days before the ovulation day, there is a very high chance that she'll get pregnant, because we know that the sperms stay in the reproductive tract or the uterus of the lady for up to 3 days, right? So if you have sexual intercourse 2 days before your ovulation day, the sperm will stay there for 3 days, so that when it gets to your ovulation day, the sperm that is already there will fertilize the egg. So that's why we say that 2 days before your ovulation day is actually your fertile window. So any woman who wants to get pregnant has a higher chance of getting pregnant if she has intercourse on these days. So we've already established that if a lady has a regular period or a regular menstrual cycle of 30 days, which means her ovulation date would be on the 17th. Now, her fertile window would be on the 17th, on the 16th, and on the 15th. Right? So these 3 days are your fertile window. So if you want to get pregnant, you have a higher chance of getting pregnant on those 3 days. If you don't want to get pregnant, well, stay away from intercourse on those 3 days. Now, like I said, it's not 100% exact science, no, because there are always changes within the human body, and sometimes it might be difficult for you to keep track of your menstrual cycle. Sometimes you might not always see your menstrual your period on the same day every month. So it's usually useful for you to track your menstrual cycle within a period not less than 6 months, 6 to 8 months. You could even take a whole year to track your menstrual cycle, to know exactly how, or your average menstrual cycle, for you to be able to calculate this. Now, like I said earlier, this method only works for ladies who have a regular menstrual cycle. If you do not have a regular menstrual cycle, it's not advisable for you to use this method. There are other methods you can use by changes in the body temperature, because it is said that days leading to the appearance of a woman's period, her body temperature increases from 0.5 to 1 degree Celsius. So she would usually feel a little bit hotter than usual. So that is in preparation for your menstruation, right? So you can use this to track that. You can also use the cervical mucus, right? The secretion that your cervix produces. You can also check the consistency, the color. If it looks like the egg white, transparent and really sticky, that could also mean that you are ovulating at that time, so that you can also use that too. There are other ovulation calculators that you can find online, so those ones kind of help you to calculate. But if you want to use the calendar method, which is what I just explained, then you would have to track your menstrual cycle for not less than 6 months for you to get an average menstrual cycle, for you to be able to calculate your ovulation period. So I'm going to put a picture at the end of this video, so please watch till the end so that you can understand more or less what I'm talking about. And in case you have any questions about this, do not hesitate to send them, right? So please like, subscribe, share to others, comment, leave your questions as usual. We're very much ready to answer you. And don't forget to follow our Instagram page or at All Around Health Talk for more information, right? So I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. Thank you very much, and see you next week. Bye.